tracking system using QR code. Abstract. The purpose of the study is to create a payment system based on QR code. Cashless society facilitates easier currency exchange while traveling abroad. Furthermore, this system will be very useful, especially during pandemic COVID-19. It offers speed, security, and availability. Background of the study. The evolution of technology across the globe is getting and enjoyable at all time. As technology evolved, the introduction of cashless payment system has led us to see this increasingly popular owing to their convenience. E-money, for instance, uses QR code that can be scanned to facilitate transactions. Statement of the problem. According to the National Library Medicine website, paper, money, and coins as potential vectors of transmittable diseases. Using paper currency and coins may be a public health risk when associated with the simultaneous handling of food and could lead to spread of deadly diseases. It has discussed in the said study how from common virus to serious illness causing virus could survive on a coin for a longer period of time, let alone the paper currency, because being used everywhere, especially on the food business. That being said, we are at the state of experiencing the consequences we made ourselves as the coronavirus 19 spread worldwide. To avoid this, a cashless transaction using cashless payment system or QR code is a better way to enhance our chances against spreading diseases such as coronavirus. Not to mention the convenience it does provide, especially now that people are stuck at their home due to quarantine. Buying stuff and necessity is much easier and safer using a cashless transaction. For the general problem, aiming for less interaction to avoid face-to-face public health risks on spreading diseases. The convenience provided by using a cashless payment system, QR code, for transaction. We also have a specific problem. Number 1, carrying cash would cause easy target for thieves. Number 2, high chances of losing your hard-earned money. Number 3, paying with cash consumes more time than doing it cashless using QR code. Number 4, paper currency spread germs, as we mentioned earlier. Number 5, cash does not earn interest or rebates. Now, lastly, for number 6, you cannot track your expenses or do an online purchase. Now, for the objective of the study. The main objective of our new QR Pay service is to replace that act of making traditional cash payments. The benefit of contactless tracking, the interaction of the individual. For this specific objective, cashless payments by scanning the QR code, cashless payments benefits that can be used to store owner and other commercial building. Significance of the study. This research will be significantly helpful in providing an effective and better way to enable contactless payments or cashless payments and interaction tracking with QR codes. Project scope and limitation. This study managed to know the effects of cashless payments interaction tracking system using QR code with the community of the Cainta campus ICCT as perceived by the students, staffs, and other employees and faculties. The following became part of the considerations to achieve the main goal of this study: advantages and disadvantages of the cashless payment and interaction tracking system using QR code, respondents' perception of transaction with the use of the system, and the proposed suggestions or recommendation for the further benefits and improvements. The prototype analysis. At the beginning of the transaction with QR code, application will be generate QR code and display it on the merchant device. The customer will scan the QR code and it will send detailed information to the customer device to display the detailed payment information. The Figure 1 QR code payment is a prototype for us to show you how our system will be
handling the case of handling the payment or the cashless payment. We, of course, have some risk analysis, but for now, we will focus on strength and opportunities that we could have achieved using QR code. For the strength, least intrusive tactics to put the customer in charge of contact with brand. The low-cost aspect of QR codes is another power. Experience is often strengthened by adding some value forms such as time savings. And of course, many have been listed in this paper, starting from the possible strengths. QR codes are pull-based marketing strategy, making them among the least intrusive, like I've explained a while ago. And it's also quite entertaining for the user using this kind of cashless payment. Handling products with QR code, scanning, and interaction using this interaction with other customers distantly with this device. For the opportunity, we also have the opportunities that are concerned for this part of the study. Most of the current literature has demonstrated a broad range of potential QR code implementations, some of which have already been listed and can be found in the section 2.6. Bearing in mind that these are all small few of the large number of choices available, there seem to be many opportunities to apply using the QR code or the cashless payment in a wide variety of research areas. In addition, with the emerging trend of the research into pull-based marketing mechanism, QR codes are likely to be seen in the front runners on the subject, providing insight into pull-based marketing and favor the consumers, and more involvement may also offer pioneering and benefit for some organization. In short, this study will not just help the part of the scope and limitation, which is the Cainta, ICCT staff, students, and teachers, or the community of the ICCT. These studies will also be a benefit to small business and possible for even a big industry or corporation. Now for the project design. For the figure 2, you can see the QR code. A QR code is an abbreviation for quick response. The QR code is nothing but a two-dimensional code. It has a pattern of black squares that are arranged on a square grid with a white background. Imaging devices such as smartphone cameras can be used to read this QR code. Here is the figure 2.1, member in the admin login page. Figure 2, the registration page. Figure 2.3, system dashboard, or also known as the member dashboard. Figure 2.3, system dashboard, admin's dashboard. All those parts for the system will be discussed later furthermore, and there will be also a video where we will actually show you how this system can be used or handled by a consumer. For the project development, this starts with studying of what will be the scope and limitation of the system. It is a skeletal draft where we're done and came up with using some flow charts, gathered information through the articles and several studies. For the methodology, This is our water flow chart. We have, of course, before we start this study, we have a further really brainstorming, planning on how this project will be handled, or will be the way it was now as a result. We have the planning, the system analysis, system design, the development, testing, and the implementation and operation of the system, of operation and maintenance. All of this are already written here and can be explained to our can be explained and discussed vividly on our paper. Data flow chart. And of course, the system flowchart. Data dictionary. Of course, we use some terms that we only we code, or that we are using during this study, that we also include in our system and in how we address a part. System features. Features compromised in the system are payment online, sending money, adding cash via online banking and kiosk, members' information profile. We are not doing a bias study here. We were able to document the incorrect part of, or the probably the glitch on the system, which is this. As you can see, the example, the incorrect login credentials and the unregistered account. But this is a part of a good study. Because of this mistake, or because of this glitch, we were able to see how are we going to improve the system. There are times that we were unable to detect the QR code. But of course, we also have successful transaction. We were able to use it and submit an e-money. Every payment were successful. The transactions the user were able to log in and do a transaction. We're also able to check the history of all the transaction. Now for the user's manual, it will be a long manual of instructions of how are we going to use the system, from register to log in, to edit profile, change password, check transactions, send pay, and send money online. If you're familiar with the GCash, our system is somehow the same. So we will not discuss further on this instruction of how to install or how to use it manually. All of this information are already on our paper. For the summary and conclusion and recommendation. Summary. The concept of this research is the significant advantages of cashless payment and tracking system. That as a school, you are able to keep proper track of data related student. If this system will be used for school, just like what is written here, we can use it on anything that is data related when it comes to students' profile. This includes the areas such as scanning of any QR code to make it easier to transact. So this system and this study is not limited on businesses, just like we have mentioned on the start of the study. It is not limited to the businesses. It also can be used in different ways. Like we can use in the classroom for submission of projects, or anything that can be utilized inside the school. This is very a versatile project and system that can be used. For the conclusion, the availability of QR code has produced more knowledgeable people that can improve the security around the relative ease without having to spend a large amount of time. In exchange, QR code payment has opened up for any small and big business that would never be in business if they had no incur on high cost of having this kind of security. In the end, it has been convenient situation for both the consumer and developer. Recommendation. According to the result of this research, the researchers recommend a cashless and tracking system for all online services to make their work easier to transact and developer recommended this kind of system to all the company, either big or small businesses. Okay, for the documentation of the cashless payment system QR code for transaction. So I will show you how our system work. So that's it. That's how are you going to use the system. So this research study is submitted to our Prof. ROMMEL DASALLA, submitted by the following: Rayo Bienvenido Jr, Velasco John Ray, Morada Jenny, Dacillo Frederick John, Emadim Abraham. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.